Hi, guys. It's your teacher, Professor Brown. So I want to go over your new home page. So let me share my screen. Let me put this down for you. And here we are. Let me make it big so everybody can see it. So this is our new home page 3, and there's some students working together. So we're going to do some collaborative work. Yes, more collaborative work. So here's a little message from me about Essay 1. Now, if you've done the readings and you've done the reading responses and you've done the quizzes and the discussions and the journal, you have everything that you need to write this essay. Let me stop share for a second. You have everything that you need to do this essay because you've done the work. It's already written. You've done it in the quizzes. You've done it in the reading responses. You've done it in the discussions. Now it's just time to put your thoughts together. So I'm going to go back and share my screen. And what did I do with the, oh, here it is. So here are our assignments. So our assignments are due October 7th. Here is the first one, Essay 1, short stories, draft 1, and peer review. Okay, so there's no extension for peer reviews, essay draft 1s, because it's an activity, right? So you earn the points by submitting. So let's take a look at this assignment. Okay, Essay 1, short stories, draft 1, and peer review. Look at this. We got pictures of students reading each other's papers. That's what you're going to do, except for you're going to do it in a virtual class, in a virtual space. These folks are here together. So to write this essay, you may choose one of the prompts below, or you may choose a topic of your own. Using critical social theorist Louis Althusser's text, Ideology and Ideological State Apparatuses, writers are asked to discuss the concepts of subject formation and exploitation for the benefit of dominant classes, both economically and culturally, within A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Sonny's Blues by James Baldwin, and The Most Dangerous Game by Richard Connell, right? And I also have that module, that ideology, I can't speak now, ideology and ideological state apparatuses module, where I even talk about these texts, okay? So now, what are the main thoughts here, right? So we have the ideological state apparatus, the repressive state apparatus, how they function, right? Why are they in place? To control what? The individual. So the individual will stay where? In the place where the dominant society needs the individual to be in order for the individual to be exploited for profit of the dominant culture, right? And we see that in The Most Dangerous Game. Who was the hegemon there, right? Or the person that had the power? Okay, it was Zaroff, right? He was the one that was going around exploiting people. And it was very obvious. I mean, he's killing people, human beings, right? Sonny's Blues, we got racism, straight up racism, okay? And A Very Old Man with Enormous Wings. The old man gets exploited, right? They put him in a cage. People look at him, pointing at him, but also there is some beauty too, right? Because in all of these stories, even though the person is in the muck, in dire straits, trying to survive, trying to fight the power, they overcome, okay? So there is some beauty there, all right? So that's one. Using critical social theorists, Louis Althusser's text, Ideology and Ideological State Apparatuses, writers are asked to discuss the concepts of oppression and the way oppression is revealed with, I just talked about it, right? So you could talk about exploitation, and you could talk about oppression and subject formation. Subject formation is the programming that goes on. Let me stop for a second. Subject formation is the programming that goes on that turns you into a person. It's those thoughts that are always going on in your mind. They're the words that you're hearing from society from the time that you're born. They keep talking to you and saying these things and putting these programs into your mind in order to control your thinking, right? But you're not like that. You're in this class, so you want to think for yourself, okay? Free your mind and think for yourself. And how do you know what are your thoughts and what somebody else's thoughts? Meditation. Taking some time to become familiar with who you are. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about here. Let's share the screen and let's go back. Wait a minute. Did I close it? No. Okay. So you can choose from those two prompts, right? And then what are the objectives? To get your thoughts out of your head and onto the page, right? Don't judge it. Don't judge it, right? To release judgment and allow your voice to be heard. To trust yourself with a capital T. You got to trust your own thoughts, okay? So here's your chance to trust yourself. Don't judge it. Get your thoughts out. Just get it on the page. And make sure that you support your thoughts with quotations from the text that I've given you, okay? To see the way the reader experiences your writing. So how do you know how someone is experiencing your writing unless you share? And why do we write? We write to share our thoughts, to communicate with others. When you're there texting in class, right? You're communicating. This is a way that humans communicate. To know if you are communicating your message effectively in writing. So we're going to share. You may think that you're saying one thing, and actually you're saying another, right? But you don't know unless you share, unless you know how the writer is experiencing your text, okay? So let's go back to our home page. Home page. So we got that essay. And then what else do we have? We have the Medea and the Oedipus discussion, right? And those were in your learning materials on homepage 2, right? So read Medea, read Oedipus. They're very short. You can also watch the movies of these plays. These are plays, right? So these are like what? I don't know. 3,000 euro texts, but we're always going to write about them in present tense, right? So you could also here see oppression and exploitation in both of these texts. Okay, who's exploited in Medea? Medea is, but I won't go there. I'm going to leave my stuff for the discussion. I'm going to make a discussion video and put it in there, and you're not going to know when it's coming. When it's coming, I'm going to put it in there, right? Oedipus, his ass is crazy, all right? I'm just going to say that. But yeah, he is. Okay, wait, let me stop for a second. Read this text. This happens in one day, right? So in tragedy, right, the story happens in one day, except for when in an enemy sky. That happens over time because it's a domestic tragedy, which is about regular folk like you and I, whereas Medea and Oedipus is about royalty, right? It's always about someone high-born. Medea, she is the Black Asian princess, and she's a witch, okay? She's got magic, dude, right? And Oedipus, right? He is a king. Oedipus Rex. Rex means king. Oedipus the king, okay? Now, in one day, we see Oedipus go, he starts out, you know, in the beginning of the play saying, you know, how can I help? I am your supplement, right? And like bowing down. Then all of a sudden, like he wants to kill Creon. He's like having people drag an old man, telling an old man he's going to kill some old man. I mean, when he says he's going to kill, he wants to kill you, he really means it, okay? He is psychotic. In my opinion, when somebody goes from, you know, being, you know, oh, I'm super calm, and then all of a sudden they're bloodthirsty, you know, in just a matter of seconds, that's nuts to me. But we don't say nuts. We say he's a psycho. So I think Oedipus is a little psychotic, but we're supposed to feel bad for him. We're supposed to feel bad for Oedipus. I don't know if I do feel so bad for the dude. Now I'm doing my discussion right now. Let me stop. I am going to stop my share here. Oh, stop share. Let me come back here. And hopefully, am I still recording? Yes, I am. So guys, those are your assignments for your homepage. This stuff is due October 7th. Make sure that you do your initial discussion before or on October 3rd so folks can have time to read what you wrote so they can respond back to you, all right? So I wish you a wonderful day and I hope you reach all of your goals.